Hello, Jeff here, and I hope you're having a great day. You know, I just finished my novel. I completed it yesterday after a couple of long years. It feels good. It feels good to have it done. I've never written a novel before, but I wrote the screenplay it came from. Now, screenplays, for some reason, are easy. It's 100-page, mostly dialogue. But when I tried to convert that into a novel, then I have to start filling in, right, all the detail, the scenery, it's a lot more detailed. I'm not gonna spend an hour trying to describe how hard it is to do. But feels really good to get it finished. It's 297 pages. It's a fiction. Crime fiction, actually. I got the idea from watching an interview that a hitman made it. If you've ever heard of Richard Kuklinski, he might have been kind of a blowhard and all that stuff, but he had a really good interview, and so that interview got my mind rolling, and well, I turned it into a screenplay that I turned into a novel, all fictional. I live in Wichita, so I had BTK to draw from. Not that I know anything about him or his case particularly, just whatever I made up in my mind between a serial killer and a hitman. So that's kind of what it is. You know, it feels kind of strange to be finished. Like I said, that I spent probably several months on the screenplay, a few months on the screenplay. Like I say, the screenplay is easy. But I've been tinkering with this book idea for a couple of years now. Like I say, I've learned as I've gone, and I have a lot to learn still. I'm going to start on my second book. I'm going to take a week or so off after I get this put on Amazon KDP. But excuse me. But so I've learned as I've gone. The hardest part, like shooting these videos, the hardest part is editing, right? So, once I started editing the book, then I spent another year just rewriting, editing, rewriting. It's turned into a lot of work. Then I found out when you're writing, you find yourself saying the same things over a lot. So I've had to go back and correct that and, reword things. And, as I started editing, I found, oh, well, there's two paragraphs that I've accidentally, put in there together. I've rewritten it, and when you rewrite a paragraph, sometimes you leave the old one on there. Anyways, it's a mess, but it's done now. I finished my final read of it last night. Today, I put it on PDF and read it and fixed all the formatting issues. There's only 3. I found 3 blank pages because I had like a what do we call it? What do I call it? Forced page breaks, right? So I had to get rid of those, and so it's 297 pages. And I'll tell you, it's kind of like jumping out of an airplane. Not that I ever have. I'm afraid of heights, but to me, it feels like maybe you've jumped out of an airplane and that parachute catches. Now you're just kind of floating there. That's kind of what it's like. So since I started this YouTube channel, I've been still working on the book. I'm trying to do this. I'm doing a 30-day challenge. This is day 12 of the 30-day challenge, by the way, where I've become more comfortable talking in front of the camera, more comfortable editing what I do. Now, I don't edit a lot because I just do a lot of these walk and talks. Now I'm just kind of standing in the shade. But yeah, so I've learned a lot as I went along. And speaking of YouTube, here I'm switching gears. If you stick with me long enough, you'll see I do that a lot. I'll get sidetracked. Something will be happening over there. So, I've been working on like a mock commercial. I've done the shooting already. I'm editing it now. I did the color grading. My main fault with my shooting on this little project is I shot it in the basement and I didn't have good lighting, and I should have. I don't have the money, but if I could have, I would have gotten better lighting. But it is what it is, so I've got it lightened up as much as I could, and I think it's going to be funny. And so that's just the other thing I've been working on. So if you ever see this, and you ever get onto my page, I'll have plenty to do. You'll have plenty to watch because I've gotten like 30 videos right now. I'm the only one that's watching them. That's okay too. Someday this will be something I can look back on, or maybe my kids can look back on. If you see this 30 years from now, kids, I love you guys. So I'm just proud that I have my book completed, and my notes. I'm looking at my notes. It's completed, you know. And if anybody buys a copy, I'll be proud to have it completed. My next novel, I have the screenplays written already. So, you know, when I write a screenplay, I've got basically a 100-page outline for a novel. So I'm hoping that the next one will go sooner. I want to try to get the next book done within like 6 months. We'll see. Now I see people on Facebook and they're talking about, oh well, I've written these 6 books, and I'm like, my God, how are you writing 6 books in like a month? You know, I don't get it. But no, a lot of people writing, well, this success story, that success story. I just want to write fiction. I'm not interested in trying to tell people how to live their life. I'm not offering anybody advice. I can just show you what I'm doing, and I want to write fiction. I enjoy the fiction. You get to know made-up characters, if that makes sense. So, and a few years ago, I couldn't say I've written a book, and as soon as I get it on KDP, I'll be a published author. I'll be a published author, yeah. What do you do? Oh, I'm an author and a fancy YouTube creator. Anyways, so if you're watching this and you see that, where am I looking at? If you're watching this and you see this, where do I look at? I never can tell on this phone. If you're watching this and you see it someday and you've thought about writing a book, do it. The worst thing that could happen is you've written a book and nobody reads it. Probably like mine will do. But no, I'm not going to be negative. It's a damn good story. You know, there are places in it I cry when I read it now, and I cried when I wrote it. It's I have some pretty compelling characters, I think. So I've read the book 10, 15, at least 10 times, you know, rewriting it, going through it, rewriting it, going through this chapter. And there are 3 chapters that still can bring a tear to my eye after all this time. So I know it's a good story, and I had a few people read it before I started really grinding away on it, and I got good reviews on it. But, you know, if they like you already, they're not going to tell you, gee, that sucked. But I think, you know, the people that have read it all want copies now that it's almost done, so they'll all get a copy. Anybody that read my book for me to kind of help me critique it. I had one person say, gee, it has a lot of F-bombs in it, and I almost couldn't read it because it's on there, but she said, the story was so good, I kept reading it anyways. And so I did turn out some of the F-bombs. You know, I got some F-bombs in it, but they're character driven. It's not like I'm just using them for the sake of using them. But even then, I toned them down because I thought, well, a character might not say it in this instance, you know. So that's that. I don't know. If you want to know what the title of the book is, you can email me. Otherwise, I'm going to assume nobody's even seen this video. So this is my 12-day video. 12 video out of 30. Because, man, I was so uncomfortable talking. What, I got 9 minutes here? I'm going to get off here. I'm going to keep you hanging all day. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel the need to help out a fellow human being that's just trying to get some YouTube going here. Bless you all. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. I'm Jeff, and I'll be back tomorrow for day 13.